All right, so I'm live with Assimilate-C here, and I want to continue to get into it with some C# stuff, and I'm going to launch this code space right here and dive right in. So that launched pretty quick because I'm using pre-builds, which is pretty cool. And there we go. Just close some of these things. All right, so last time, if I look at the README file, what we did was I set up a Blazor app and got that stuff cooking here, which was kind of fun. And I think maybe today it would be nice to play around with the command line tool library from .NET. So let's go ahead. Let's experiment with that. So let's go ahead and do lesson 2. Create command line tools for .NET. There we go. And if we go here and we go to command line tools, C#, I believe there's like a new framework. So .NET, let's look for C#, command line tool frameworks. I've done it before. I think there's one from Microsoft. What is this one? Console app? No. This one. That's the one I was. Yeah, so System Command Line is currently in preview, and this document is for version 2 beta 4. There we go. So that's what I want. I want this. Oh, I like this. Okay, let's try this out. So I'm going to add some reference material here, and we're going to call this system.commandline. So system.commandline box. Okay, let's get into this thing. Let's read a little bit of the information. So this is beta. It does all this really cool stuff for us. You need to have a code editor, but I think this will work. Let's see if it'll work within Visual Studio Code. I think it will, but let's try. So I'm going to make a directory called system command line demo or something like that. And let's go into there. And let's just run that command, which is .NET New Console Framework 6. Oh, no, we have 7 now. So this is something where, are we sure it's .NET 6 or is it .NET 7? That's a great question. This gets into my lack of understanding of .NET because this does say very recent change. Let's Google it real quick. And I would assume it would work with .NET 7, but I could be wrong. Let's see. Command line. Oh, here we go. Let's take a look at this. So, and let's even add this. This is a repository containing the code for system command libraries and .NET Suggest. Okay, so I'm not an expert, so I need to add copious documentation. We can say like official repo for this. Official repo for system command line. And let's just read the docs before I get myself into too much trouble here. This repository contains a source contains a code for system command line libraries and .NET Suggest. There we go. This looks good. And daily builds. Let's look at the official docs. Are these the same docs? Boy, I don't know how you figure out what has been updated recently. This is 18 days. Let's see this. What does this say? Well, .NET runtime. That does not look good. Oh no, 7. Here we go. Tools. But see, what does this mean? Tools .NET 7, runtimes .NET 5, .NET 6. I don't know why they would have this. Let's just try both. Let's try both ways. Let's see if both work. So I'm going to try one with 7, and if it blows up, it blows up. Okay. And then let's go to the next thing, which is do this. And let's add this in there, .NET add package. This might not work. I won't be surprised if it doesn't work. Let's see here. Well, it did not work. That's a good sign. And then replace this with the following code. And this is just a file reader, essentially. I think I've played around with this before, and it uses an option called file. Looks straightforward enough. And let's go into this. Let's go to program. Actually, just out of curiosity, if I do a get status, okay, let's throw this in there, and let's just read the code real quick. Using system command line, namespace, and we have an async task here, which is -- file, the file to read and display on the console, and this is the root command, sample app for system .command line. Okay, looks good. So what do we do next? I mean, again, this makes sense to me. This looks pretty readable. The read file is by the root handler, the contents of the file with the root command. So to build it, we need to run these commands. So first up, let's do a .NET build. Now, again, this is where things could blow up. I don't know. Let's try this out. Does it actually compile? Woo, it works. Look at that. I like it. So we obviously have to change this, right? So we go to bin debug. So cd bin, do I cd into here? Yeah, cd. Okay. So cd into bin debug. And then into .NET 7. So I have to change that to cd into .NET 7. Now, I believe it's the is it the DLL that we care about? To the run command after the example. So one way you can do it is you can run it inside of the debug folder. So let's first try that. Do we have a runtime config? Yeah, we do. Huh, that's weird. So I don't see an SCL here. SCL system command. So that did not work, right? Because it says SCL -- file into the SCL bin debug. SCL bin debug. SCL. Oh no, it's because it's going to be this. I didn't name it the same name, I think. How about that? Did that work? No. What did it? No, I should have named this thing SCL. That's what's kind of weird about this. I don't see. So I don't see an executable called SCL. So that could be one issue. Let's go back up here and let's see what the use .NET Run and pass the option. Let's try this. Does this work? Ooh, so it did not work. So what's going on here? So it says, oh, could not find the file. Well, what we can just see what's in this current working directory, like the program.cs, right? We can just say program.cs file. Let's do this. Program.cs. Does that work? Well, I guess it does work. And what happens if we do it, give it a help? Oh, there we go. So I guess I was able to get it working with .NET 7. So that's pretty cool. And if I put the docs here, maybe I'll put some notes that say, surprise, this actually works with .NET 7. And you can give it like this example. So if I need to look at it again, we got this working. So that's pretty cool. Now, the thing that always troubles me, I'm still not great with version control in C# is, if I say get status, does it just blow up? Like, what is it going to check in inside of here? So, and do I need to add a get ignore to it? And if I look at let's look at the get ignore real quick and double check VS Code, user specific, oh, debug, build results, generated files. What I always am confused about is, does this get ignore, is it smart enough to do a wildcard, or do I have to copy it in there? I guess just to be safe, I can copy it in there. I don't know if I need to do this, but I'm going to do that anyway. I'm going to say system, let's just throw it in there. And now if I say get status, I say get add star, we can do adding get ignore. For adding beta library. So kind of fun actually to get that working. And look, we see now again, I don't know if this is because the get ignore was in there or not, but it doesn't hurt. And I'm going to push it. Cool. Okay, well, now that I got that working, now I'm kind of excited to try something more fancy. And I think in general, a phrase repeater would be a fun one to do. So I'm going to try that next. And I'm going to maybe make it a little cleaner here. So we can go, system command line is currently in preview, blah, 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 blah. And it says .NET add package. This creates one called SCL. So yeah, let's make one more again. So let's look at the README file. I guess I should have been nice and to put the instructions for how to run this, which would be step 1, which would be this. Actually, step 1 is make directory like my project. There we go. So we'll get this project running. And then 2, we do something like this, .NET 7. And then 3 would be to actually make directory and then cd into whatever it is your project is. So, and then you would do the last step would be to add this thing. There you go. So that's the gist of how to get it cooking. So I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to say make directory, and we'll call this phrase repeater. Oh, I misspelled repeater. That's how bad of a spelling I am. So ER, phrase repeater. There we go. And now you can cd into there, and we can do our command here for .NET 7. There we go. Perfect. And then we can do the pre-release for this. .NET. Okay, so now this is weird. I don't know. It's a weird output, but it worked before. So now if we go to the phrase repeater, we have the program file. And I mean, I guess I can maybe use this as the base. And we can say build a phrase repeater. And we're going to do phrase repeater. Oh, there we go. That's cool. And now what I'm curious about is how smart of the help of it will be in terms of building boilerplate code. Let's see if it's super smart or not. Happens. Here we go. So, oh, it's pretty smart. Let's see. So static async task phrase new option. The phrase to repeat. Sample app for system. The root command. I think we want to do this. We want to say change this to be phrase repeater. So we're going to say set handler repeat phrase, which would be down here. And it's going to say console.write phrase. Now, what we're not doing is multiplying, though. Build a phrase repeater that. There we go. So I think we're going to need another option here. There we go. Teach, looking good. And then for this, keep phrase. There we go. We needed to change that up a little bit and get rid of that. We basically say, here's the phrase. And now I need to pass the repeat option, though. String phrase. And I think I would just say int repeat, enumerable. And then I would get rid of this line right here. There we go. So yeah, Copilot, if you're not an expert in a language, it makes things pretty nice. And so we see enumerable. It's going to take this integer and it's going to pass it in a certain number of times to repeat the phrase. So this looks pretty good. So what do I do to run it? If I follow the command before, yeah, I do .NET build. So let's do the same thing. Let's change our documentation that says .NET build. .NET build. Ooh, no, don't do that. .NET build. There you go. So we'll do that. We'll say .NET build. Uh-oh. There is no argument given that corresponds to the parameter repeat. There is no argument that corresponds. So I screwed something up here. So, what is this? What is this telling me? There is no argument that corresponds. Line 22. Oh, yeah. So we need to change this because I believe if is root set handler repeat. Is it this? Repeat phrase. Repeat. Does that look right? Let's see here. Invalid token. Root command. See, I'm not exactly sure how you pass it. So we know this. We know that this would take two things there. And so what I don't know is how the set handler works. Set handler phrase. Phrase. What does this mean here? So it says use expression, introduce local. What does that do? Object value. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how you pass in the repeat here. Is it here? It's not auto correcting me. Or is it like, no, it's gotta be root command set. I don't know exactly how this thing, no definition found for set handler. Let's try that. Let's do that. Does that work? Oh, delegate does not take two arguments. Oh, okay. Delegate does not take two arguments. So root command, phrase repeater, add phrase option. Oh, repeat phrase. Repeat option. Repeat option. Phrase option. Now I don't see, this is a piece of code I don't totally understand. It doesn't make sense to me. Repeat phrase. Let's just see what happens if I just nuke it here. What happens if I just add it again? What happens? I'm not sure why we even needed that piece of code, or if it's just bogus code. Try to build it again. Well, this shows my .NET weakness. Well, what if we do this? What if we say this? Let's nuke it. There we go. And let it rebuild. Repeat. Oh, that's right. Oh, I see. So you do pass it in with a, this was missing. This was missing. And then I don't totally understand this syntax here. I'm just not getting this exactly, but it looks like it's a method. You pass two things in to set handler, and then there is a you invoke it. So I guess you're registering the function maybe with the handler, and then you're registering the options here into the command line tool. I guess if I had to guess, it would be something like that. Ooh, cannot convert from int on line 23. Oh, so can I convert into int? let's Google this. Let's go here. Cannot implicitly convert type into int. I'm getting an error. I'm not sure why. Well, that's me, not advanced C sharp. You're casting, set your miniature static, use parameters in your query. Orders per hour, static int. Let's try that. So where am I doing this? New option. What does this tell me? No. Static, new option. Int. New. Static. Is that what we want to do here? Let's double check here. Static int. Yeah, I'm not sure actually how you do this string conversion properly. Can I convert into int? From yeah, definitely have some kind of a type conversion issue here that's a little bit tricky to debug. So I guess this shows you one of the weaknesses of a tool where if you don't totally understand it, and I just see this. So argument 2 cannot convert int to int. What happens if I just change it to int? I just said that. What does that do? Okay. So it compiled. I don't know if that's good, but it did compile. So then if I go into bin, I go into debug, or actually I don't even need to do that. If I stay up here, this is where I want to run the command here, which would be something like that. Let's do a .NET help. So let's do that. How does that work? Whoa, look at this. Nice. And let's do repeat 5 times. Phrase. Apple. Oh, I'm so advanced at C sharp. Actually, I feel like I'm a lucky C sharp developer, not an advanced one, but I got something working. Here we go. So we'll put this inside of here and got another tool down, another tool down the tubes. So I'm going to, again, I'm incompetent. I'm going to CPU get ignore inside of here because I don't know if I need it, but why not? And we'll go ahead and add everything. Adding a working example for system command line. Feeling good. I think I'm going to stick with this system command line for a while because I think it's a good one to really build a lot of ideas around. Lesson 3, keep building with this. Okay, so we got this thing. Let's add one more time. Let's push this, and we're good to go. All right, so I'll be back in a couple weeks to continue my C# adventure. See you then.